Hi, this is Olajide from CTF Security and welcome to day 2 of the Advent of Cyber 2025. Today, we're going to be working on social engineering and we're going to be learning how attackers craft malicious phishing email to send to their victim to capture their login credentials. Now, this lab has two sections. We have the task 1 and the task 2. The task 1 covers the introduction to the lab, including the storyline and the learning objective. So from this lab, we want to understand what social engineering is. We want to be able to differentiate between different types of phishing. We want to also learn or explore how red teams create fake login portal. Lastly, we want to use social engineering toolkit to send a phishing email. Now, the other section we have on this page shows us how we can quickly spin up the machine for this lab. So we have two different machines you need to spin up. We have the start attack box and we have the target machine. So what we're going to do is to start the bot, and this is going to take approximately 1 minute to fully start up the machine. So while we wait for that, I have successfully started the attack box and machine. We're just going to check that and then move to the second task for this machine. Now, the task 2 of this lab explains what social engineering is, and it says social engineering refers to manipulating a user to make a mistake. Example of such mistake include sharing a password, opening a malicious file, and approving a payment. Nickname social means that the target of such an attack is human being, not computer systems. Now, if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, we have information about phishing. We also have some key indicators of phishing, like what are the likely words that we can take a look at from an email to actually figure out if this email is malicious or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to the beginning of the lab, and this introduces us to the .server.py, which is the local server on this machine that is hosting our malicious phishing page. So what we're going to do is to click enter, then we're going to spin up the terminal. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to do ls, and from here we have a directory called rooms. So we're going to change directory to rooms, and let's see what we have. So in the rooms directory, we're going to change directory to the AoC 2025 day 2. /day 2. Okay, great. So now on this page, we have two documents. We have the index.html, which is the login page, and we also have the server.py, which is the Python scripts that will probably serve this particular index.html on this machine. So what we're going to do is to spin up the server.py, and this is going to open any IP address on port 8000. Now what this means is that for us to be able to access the index.html, we just have to visit our own attacker's IP address on port 8000. So to do that, I'm going to move to full view. Now from the full view, okay, I think that is still coming up. Okay, great. So let's spin up our browser. So we have our attacker's IP address here. We're just going to enter that in here, 10.66.179.82 on port 8000. And this is going to load the login portal. Now from this page, let's say we fall victim and we decide to enter a credential. Just enter RZ07 and just supply any password. Let's use please subscribe, and then I try to sign in. Okay, so it just reloads the page and tell you please re-authenticate to apply the latest delivery manifest changes. So if you go back to, let's just minimize this one, to our Python server, scroll down, you see that this request we sent has been captured on the server. The username is R07 and the password is please subscribe, and this is coming from us, which is 10.66.179.82, because we actually clicked on the phishing email ourselves. So what we're going to do is follow the other guide for this machine. We've actually done this. Now the next section of this lab introduces us to the SEToolkit, and this tool is very easy to use. To actually spin the tool up, you just need to enter SEToolkit on your terminal, and then we need to specify the kind of attack we want to perform. So let's quickly do that. I'm going to use another terminal for this, and okay, great. So we're going to use SEToolkit. All right, so we want to perform social engineering attack. We're going to select one. So we have other sub options to perform spear phishing, website attack vectors, which is actually cloning websites, but that's not what we want to do. What we want to use is the mass mailer attack option, which is option 5. So I'm going to select that, and we're going to choose option here. We have basically two options. We either email attack to single email address, or we email attack to mass mailer. So we're going to select the first option, and this is going to ask us for a specific email address. Now, if you go to the instruction here, we're being given an email address, which is going to be our target, which is factory@Webmail. So I'm going to copy this and head over to our machine. We might need to use the clipboard. I'm going to copy, and then we're going to paste. Great. So the next thing we want to do is to specify if we want to use Gmail account for email attack, or we want to use our own server. So since we are using our own Python server, we're going to select option 2, and then it's going to ask us from address. Now let's go and pick up the from address, and this is going to go to update@flyingdeer.thm. So this is going to be our receiver's email address, and this is going to be the from IP address, which is the origin of this phishing email. So factory@webmail.thm is going to see the email coming from update@flyingdeer.thm. So let's quickly fix that in here. I'm going to copy, and we're going to paste. Great. So the next thing is they want to specify the from name the user will see. So we're going to just use flying deer. The username for the relay, since we're using our own server, we do not need to specify this. Just click on enter. Then password, we just click on enter, and then it's asking us to specify SMTP mailing server address. Now to do that, we're going to pick up our IP address, which is the target machine's IP address, and use as our SMTP server. I'm going to copy, and we're going to paste that in here. Next, we need to specify the port number for the SMTP server, which is going to be port 25. So we're just going to click on enter. Now it's asking, do we want to flag this message as high priority? We're going to use no. Flag this message. Okay, I think we've selected that. Do you want to attach a file? No. Do you want to attach an inline file? No. So it's asking us for email subject. Now we have to put in something that will trigger the victim into clicking on the email, and so we have to specify a convincing email subject, and I think we have one here. Okay, yeah, great. So we have shipping. I'm just going to copy this. Schedule changes. And we're going to paste it right here. Then we have send the message as HTML or plain. We're just going to default to plain by pressing enter. Then we're asked to specify the body of the message, then type end in capital letter when finished. So to do that, let's see the email that was being crafted. We have kindly note that there have been significant changes to the shipping schedule due to increased shipping orders. I think this looks nice. So let's paste that in here. I will copy that. I'm going to paste it in here and click on enter. Now we want to enter the second line of our message, and this is going to be, please confirm the new schedule by visiting this particular URL, which is the URL to our malicious phishing page. So we're going to take this into the machine and let's copy this out, and we're going to paste it here and click on enter. Now the next line says best regards. So let's just fix that in here. I'll just paste that in here. I think we have one more line, which is flying there, then end. So what we're going to do is type in flying there. This is not really important, by the way. The actual thing that is very important is for you to specify the URL of our phishing portal there and then craft a convincing email. So we're going to specify the flying there. We're going to click on enter. Then we're going to end in capital letter and then press the enter key. So it says set as finished sending the email. Press return to continue. So let's just minimize the screen and wait to see if we're going to get a response back from a victim. So while we wait, let's see if we have a specific amount. So it says note, you may have to wait 1 to 2 minutes and observe the terminal for any credential entered. So while we wait, we will be looking out for the password that is going to be captured during the process. We have to fix that in here. Then we might need to log into the 10.66.171.239 from within the attack box and try to access the mailbox. We are yet to get any response. Let's just wait a bit. Okay, so I think we got a response. So you can see that we have a victim here, which happens to have username admin and password to be unranked wisdom anthem. And this is the specific IP address of that victim. So I think this is what is being required of us. We're going to copy and we're going to paste that in here and check. Okay, that was correct. So now all we have to do is to visit the target machine IP address. Let's grab that again. Copy that and head over to the machine. I'm going to minimize this screen. let's go back to our web browser on another tab. Let's just enter that in. So this happens to take us to the Roundcube webmail login page. And if we try to authenticate with the admin credential, and the password we just got, which is the unranked anthem, just put that in here. And we log in, this is probably going to fail. So login failed. Now remember, when we craft the, can I take this back? Remember, when we crafted the email address, we actually targeted factory@wearville.thm. So probably the username of this user might be factory. And also, to confirm this, it says browse to the IP address from within the attack box and try to access the mailbox of factory. So definitely this is going to be the login username. So what we have to do is to go in here, put in the factory, sorry, not here. Let's go to the Roundcube. So this is going to be factory. And for the password, we have to grab that again. So let's click here and log in. And we gain access to factory's email box, or webmail box rather. Now we have two emails here. I guess this is the phishing email we send ourselves. You can see the content. Kindly note that there have been significant changes to the shipping schedule due to increased shipping orders. Please confirm the new schedule by visiting this specific. Now, what actually happened in our scenario is that this particular user, factory, clicked on this URL and it took them to, or it took him rather, to a phishing portal, and the person entered his or her email username and password and tried to sign in, and that was how we were able to capture that request. Now the last section of the lab says user to see if the previously harvested admin password has been reused, which we have confirmed that it gave us access to the webmail portal. Now on the email portal, what is the total number of toys expected for delivery? Now if we go back here, you can see that we have other email here. So all we have to do is to go through this email to see if we have the total number of delivery. So I think we have something here. Okay, yeah, it says repeat confirmation. The total request to be manufactured and shipped is this unit. So I'm going to grab that. This should be our last flag. And I'm going to check. And finally, we're going to check. So guys, that will be the end of today's video. If you've learned one or two things from this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps me create content that you love. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.